Hello and welcome to this month's STEM Challenge. This month we'll be learning a little bit about the forces that act upon structures. In particular, we will be building a bridge with some household items, just paper and maybe a couple books to make the valley in the center. So today we're going to be diving into a couple different things, and I'm going to switch over and still talk, but you will be able to see my screen so you can see what I am talking about. So this challenge is going to be the Paper Bridge Challenge. Please access this PowerPoint. It's going to be in the link that is in the bio below the video. This video itself will have a whole bunch of different things where you can pause it, you can do what you need to do, or you can watch it all the way through and continue to identify the problem. And you'll be using a single sheet of paper, and you will be trying to make it across a gap that is 6 inches, and you will have a load that you are trying to support. In the directions it says use pennies, but you can use just about anything. So besides that, you can use nothing. No cardboard, no cereal box, no newspaper, no glue, no tape, no paper clips, just your piece of paper. But nothing says you can't cut it, bend it, fold it, and make it into all different types of designs. So with that said, we are going to look at a couple of the forces that act upon your bridge. The first one here is going to be tension. And tension is when you're pulling something apart. If you think about like a rubber band, you're going to be moving it across from each other in some direction, whether it be horizontal or vertical, and that's going to be known as tension. It's that pulling. Then you have bending. Bending is going to happen with just about every single bridge when something goes across it. So say if a car is driving across our bridge, that bridge is going to be bending inwards. And that's what you're trying to keep it from doing when you are building your bridge across your books, is that you don't want it to bend. So you got to figure out how you're going to support it. Then you have compression, which is when you have something squeezing together. It can be vertical or horizontal. This will also happen when your load goes across your bridge. You have shear force, which is another word for scissors. So scissors are called shear because it's two things going in a different direction. So when one thing is going in the direction and the other one's going in the other direction, it crosses and then it breaks. Then you have torsion, which is the twisting motion of a bridge. A bridge will have this acted upon it when there's any type of wind or any type of force that is making it move side to side, and it will be twisting. In a bridge diagram, this is kind of what it would look like. You have your forces that are going onto your bridge. So say if a car is parked here in the center, you're going to have all your weight being pushed downwards. And that's going to be that compression force. And then while it's compressing, this side is pulling this way, and this side is going to be pulling this way. And that's what creates that tension. The right side's pulling away from the left side because it's being pushed downwards. Then you have shear force on the edge, and that shear force is going to be that opposite direction. So because it is on this ledge here, this ledge is technically pushing it upwards while this part of the bridge is being pulled downwards. So in this spot in particular right here, that's where you will have your shear force. And then it's kind of hard to show torsion and the twisting action, but that is if you have your bridge and it's twisting. Like I said before, that could be because of wind or things being pulled on because of the tension, compression, all acting together. So what I want you to take some time to do is go ahead and click on this hyperlinked photo here. There's also a link in the notes down below the slide itself. But if you click on this, it will direct you to this PDF. And I would like you to go through it, read it. It's talking about using index cards, scissors, paper clips, pennies. And basically what it's going to have you do is read some background information, and then you're going to test a couple different designs. You can just do the plain card, you can fold the card in half, do a beam, do an arch, little triangles, big triangles, or a combo of both. And then you're going to record your data as you go through and figure out which one of these shapes is going to be the strongest. As you go through and complete this, you'll start to find out some things hold different amount of weights and some shapes are stronger. In the engineering world, triangles are going to be your strongest shape. So in our bridge right here, we have a whole bunch of different triangles. We have triangle here, a bigger triangle. If you put them both together, triangles are one of the strongest and sturdiest shapes. So that is typically what these bridges are built out of. This particular bridge is called a truss bridge. But when we are going through this, you're going to be recording your pennies or whatever it is that you're putting on there. It could be a piece of cereal, it could be quarters, it could be M&Ms, it could be Skittles, it could be anything that has weight. So, with that, you can start to build your own design. So that last little section on the previous document is build your own design. You're going to use the rest of this slideshow to go ahead and get a design, build some pictures. You can make it 2D, 3D, and then you can actually make it yourself out of your piece of paper. So there's a lot of different ways to approach this and a lot of different things that you can do. In this PowerPoint itself, I have left pages blank where you can delete what's here and then put your ideas in there. So then you have a record of it and you can start to see what is happening and you will label your forces on what you see while you are testing. So you'll have to take pictures as you're going along to correctly fill this in. You'll list improvements here as you go to build it, and then after you do your prototypes, you're going to do a final build, and you are going to put your final solution right here. So what this will look like once it's completed is something like this. So you'll have your paper bridge challenge, you'll have your brainstorming ideas. You can hand draw this, you can do it on the computer, you can do it in SketchUp, you can do it in a bridge designing app. There's many different ways that you can brainstorm your idea. And then you're going to build your prototype and you are going to place it across a valley of some sort. Realistically, you can just stack 2 books on each side and place it across. Then what you're going to do is try to load as much weight as possible and see where your forces are going to be acting upon. So when this bridge is under stress, it will be compressed downwards. So the compression is forcing it down into the corners. You have tension, so it's going to be pulling across from the bottom. You have torsion where it's twisting. And then you have that whole bending in the center where it creates that C shape. And then you'll list some improvements. For this one, there was more things wrapped around the arches to improve the strength of the connection that is there. And then this was the final solution. So there's a whole bunch of different things to go into this. You can make more than one design. You can test and test and test and build and build and build, and continue on experimenting on what's the best way to go about this. And then if you really want to, at the end of this Google Slides, you can go to this Bridge Designer app and go ahead and design it virtually, and you can see how much weight it will hold, and you can put your design to the test and see what it would look like in the real life. I want to thank you for joining in. I appreciate you guys all coming here and stepping in every month to see what we have to offer, and we'll always be here next month. So get ready, get excited, get engineering. Have a good afternoon.